Hi, this is VHECS66, and I wanted to show off my brand new Lowrance Gen 3 HDS 9 install that I finally got completed. Let me get started. Now, some first things, I have a jet boat, so I really can't put the transducer on the back of my boat because it's a shallow running boat. So I would end up breaking the transducer off. So I opted to put this. Normally, I would have it mounted up here. I found a guy on the web, fishingspecialties.com. He made this little contraption here for me that allows me to put my transducer, both of the transducers, which is the LSS2 transducer, which you can see under the bottom, and the chirp or the 2D sensor that's there, and put it all on one neat little package up front. So I can drop it right down when I get ready to use it without worrying about breaking it off. And I can go at trolling motor speeds, or I can go with the motor on, with pretty slow. But it's just a good workaround to keep me from spending another $200-300 to get that replaced. So, as I said before, I had it mounted. I normally would have it mounted up here on my console up here. And I'm going to actually opted to put it down at the base down here, which I have a RAM mount. I also have went on and bought the point 0.1 GPS module, and that will allow me to, when I'm out on the water, the direction of the boat, it'll actually point my cursor exactly where I'm going, instead of it just sort of tracking back, and the boat is appearing to go in a different direction when really, what I'm saying is when I get on a waypoint, it'll point in the direction of the front of the boat at all times. So that helps me to keep track of where the waypoint is in relation to my boat. Some of the features with the actual unit itself, again, it's the Gen 3 model. It is touchscreen. Have improved the software. It is nice and fast. It has built-in structure scan, which is awesome. But I think the most awesome thing about it to me is the ability that it has the built-in hotspot in the Wi-Fi, which that means I can actually connect it up with once I enable the hotspot mode on it, I can actually connect my iPad or an Android tablet or even an Android phone to it. Now, when I connect the tablets to it, it will allow me to control it directly from the actual tablet, which is awesome. Let me give you a quick demo on how that works. Now, here's my iPad, and the app that you have to get is this Lowrance Go Free. And once you get that, you simply go there and you press that. It goes into it. Once you have the hotspot enabled on the actual fish finder, you just go, you should see it, and you give it a username and password, and voila, it goes right into it. As you can see, same thing. I'm going to see if I can do this both at the same time, where you can kind of see me do this at the same time. But yeah, as you touch the screen, it actually will do it right up on the fish finder itself. As you can see, I brought the 2D and the chart up. As you can see, there's the 2D and the chart. I'm going to move, go back, pages button. And again, I'm doing all of this right from my tablet down here. I think that is the most awesome thing. Also on this Gen 9, I also have the ability to connect a video camera up to it. If I press it now, of course, it's not going to work because I don't have a camera connected to it. But if I had a camera there, it would actually see it. And I could drop it down. I could actually see what's down below the boat if I wanted to. If I'm seeing fish on the sonar, I could actually go down and drop the camera down and actually see what's actually there. So, or if I wanted to play video from a video source of some sort, I could have it come up on my monitor or on my tablets or the phone. Now, that is an iPad, but I also have my daughter's Nabi tablet, and I actually got it installed on hers as well. There's the app, as you can see it. Okay, and that should be it there. And as you can see, there you go. As a matter of fact, let me see if I can have it where you can see me touch it. Yep, see how it changes on my iPad and on the actual device? I could zoom in. Let me zoom in here so you can kind of see what I'm doing. Zoom in. Let me say clear cursor. And it will go right where you zoom in at. So you can see that triangle there, that's the representation of my boat. Shows depths and contours. Another cool thing, I've gotten this device hooked up with the GoFree site, the Insight Genesis site rather, and I'm able to go out, run the boat, and record, and I can actually upload my own charts. So I can go to a lake or a river or any water source that I've never been to, and I can make my own depth charts and bottom hardness. I can see plant material, hard bottoms. It'll show a representation of that. Another cool thing with this fish finder is that I'm able to do the overlay of the structure scan, which is the side and the down scan. But on the actual chart, I'm able to do this left side, left to right, and that's basically the overlay. So if I turn that on, there we go. Now, what makes this so awesome is that when I'm going and traveling and recording what's on the bottom, I can actually see it on a map, and I can see where my boat is, which is represented by this triangle there, or I could basically tell it to be a boat like that. But I can zoom in, and if you see as I zoom in, you'll see good structure on the bottom. So let's just say this little rock, this boulder right here, I could come there, set a waypoint on that, and be able to watch my boat as it comes up to it, and I could actually fish that, and know exactly where I'm fishing at. The resolution on these devices is really, really nice. Let me go back out of here. Some of the other features that it has, again, it has a tide table. Another nice feature is if I'm running down the river, and rivers have a lot of rocks, well, at least where I live, there's a lot of rocks and boulders, and you want to kind of go the same direction in which you came, knowing that you didn't hit anything. So a lot of times I'll follow the chart and it'll have my trail just like you saw here. Take the structure off. This little black line that you see here, I could actually change the color of that, and I can follow that if I want. All right, let me show you, if you hold the chart down, you can actually see some other options. I could actually have the chart and the sonar up. So it's kind of good if you have a brush pile or something that you want to see. You could actually, if I take this structure scan off, let's just say if I was just looking at waypoints, I could actually show right where my boat is. And then as I'm coming up on that rock pile or that waypoint I've created, I could look at my 2D over here and actually see it come up like, let's say if that was a brush pile, I could actually see it, know that I'm there where I need to be. Again, there's a lot of options. This 2D also has the ability, the Lowrance unit has the ability to do chirp, which allows you to have a signal that goes down and it's like a multiple signals in one that goes down, hits targets, and shows the transducer what it sees. So what's so big about that is it allows you to, it'll separate its returns a lot clearer. So you'll see, 5 fish in a school where it used to be a big blob. I really can't demonstrate that in the simulated mode, but I do have high chirp, that's for shallow water, medium chirp, 65 feet or deeper, and the low chirp is for extremely deep water, which I'll never be in. I'll mostly use the high chirp. And the all this clutter at the top, you can minimize that, where it's a lot easier to focus more on what's below. This color palette is not one that I normally would use. I would probably use, I like this one, number 3. Let me put it on a bigger screen here. I like the third palette. Red is the hardest return. So when I see things red, that means it's a hard bottom. And in some cases, it will let me know that's fish that I see. And you can adjust the sensitivity. I'll go through some of the color palettes that you do have. That's the original. That's number 2. Again, you can see the bottom pretty well. Different color palettes will show different things. That's the one that I like. That's a grayscale one. It's an inverse. It's another one that really shows the bottom detail. And let's just say if I want to pay attention to that, I could click it, zoom in on it, and see what it is. If I want to put a waypoint on it, I can. Let me go back here. It's another color palette. Let me get this back up. Zoom back out, okay. All right, and it's the green. And like I said, different light conditions out on the water will dictate what you can choose to use. This is another one that I was kind of liking, was this one. Nice black background, and your returns show up pretty good. And doesn't show that good on this video, but there is red in there, and that's letting me know that could be fish, especially in the water column like that. I really like that one. This is one of the, I think that's palette 13, that has that shows the ground as a brown color and your returns as different colors there. And that's the last one, last palette. Okay, one other thing you can do. One thing about the Lowrance units that I really like is the transducer, the amplitude scope. So what makes this so awesome is that you can follow your jig or your lure. If you have it right below your transducer, you can actually watch it go down, and you can actually see fish returns. Like this would be a fish return, as you can see. And if you see that moving up and your lure is right here, then it'll let you know a fish is about to grab it. So it's almost like playing a video game, watching the fish go after your lure. That just shows the bottom. It sort of puts a line on it. Let me change this palette to a different color here. No, let me keep it. Okay, let me take this amplitude off, amplitude scope. Now another thing that you can do, you can actually split the screen up. So let's just say if I want to zoom in, I could actually have one side actually zoom in, just choose which side, and then I can actually have it to zoom in, and as it's moving, you can see that it's actually zoomed in on the bottom. Let me change it to bottom lock. Now that actually locks on the bottom a little bit better. So the zoom will just put it in a depth that you want to pay attention to, and it'll just keep it there. the bottom lock actually knows where the bottom is, and it will actually zoom in there, and you can zoom in however much you want to go there. And the flasher mode is really exciting. If you guys know what a flasher is, you can actually use that to, in this ring, you can actually watch your lure go down. You can actually see fish would be represented by the little colors here. And you can tell when fish are in your transducer cone, and you can actually watch them. Like if these were fish right here, you would see the color, and you can actually watch your lure. So you could kind of see it real time there too. It's just a different way. I know a lot of people that ice fish, that's what they use as a flasher. So it's a nice little thing to, a little option to have to play with. Some of the other screens that we have is, let me make sure I turn this off. No split. Okay. All right. So if I go back to the main menu, again, there's the option to go to the Go Free shop. So I could actually be on the water, and I can download maps. I could upload my track data right on the water. If I just tether this with my mobile phone or any hotspot, I could send those maps up and then actually have them come back down on my unit. Or if I'm going to a new lake and I need to get the chart for it, I could actually go there and be able to get the chart. And we also have the social aspect of it, where the social maps are free that you can get, that people just go out and they just don't mind sharing with everybody, or you can keep them private. But that's another feature that I really, really like about this unit. The info mode, you can actually connect this up with your motor and different systems on the boat, like your fuel, the engine temperature. You can show your speed over ground, how fast the boat is going, depth, and more of an information display. And that's pretty cool. I like that feature. You can even see which way your boat is being steered, a little compass, electronic compass, your longitude and latitude. And you have different dashes that they have for it, but you can also create your own dash. That's one showing fuel and engine, trim on your motor, your battery voltage, PSI of, I'm not sure exactly what that one is, but PSI, some kind of pressure of something. But yeah, there's a lot of editing that you can do to really customize your unit. You can also make your own screens that you want to see that are most common for you to, or most comfortable for you to see. So I'm going to go through and create one. Let's just say I want to create a window that's going to show my sonar, okay, and my structure scan. And let's just say I want to put the chart on there too. Okay, so I want to have my chart over here because you have the different layouts here. And I want the structure scan, and I want the 2D, but I actually want the 2D sonar on top and the structure scan on the bottom. Now I'm going to customize this some more, but if I just save that like that, boom, there's a quick little go-to that I can go right to. If I go back, there it is right there. Now what makes that so awesome is that, let's just say, if I want to look at my 2D sonar and then look and compare it with my down scan, which this is side scan, so all I need to do is just click it and I can change it to down scan. And that's a representation of what that is seeing up there. Also with my chart over here on the other side, if I have my waypoints, I could mark waypoints. And speaking of that, let me go to that feature. If I go to, let's say, the structure scan, okay, now this is the down image. And I'm looking at what's on the bottom, and of course I can change these colors here too. Yeah, there's lots of different colors I can change that to. Some are better than others. I'll just go with that one for right now. And let's just say we've been traveling, and I said, man, what was that right here? So I could actually come up here and I can scroll back in history and see things that I passed. There's a school of fish right there. And see, I could zoom in on it, take a better look at it. I can zoom all the way in, actually. You can see this a little almost fish-like shape. Those are little bait fish, it looks like. And this is like in 20 feet of water. So it could be a school of crappie or bluegill. But those little small ones, they look like bait fish, but they could be bigger fish in there too. But what you could do is make a waypoint right here, mark it, and I could get right back to it. And pull the chart up and I can drive right back to where it is, even though I've already passed it. And it's still recording as I'm looking at this. And like I said, it's really fast. There's another group of fish right here. Little trees, bushes. Here's a drop off here. Kind of rocky it looks like. Let's see what other thing. I can again go at 455 kilohertz or 800 kilohertz, which will make it a lot crisper. But you get more clarity in it, but you may not have as big of a it may not be a big of a swath that it's grabbing. So that's a feature that you can edit. If I put the left and right on, again, I can see what's to the left of the boat and to the right of the boat, and I can go out pretty far, like almost 200. Let's see, how far can I go out? 400 feet. I can see on both sides of my boat. And again, the further you are out, you can kind of see like contours a little bit better on how the water or the bottom of the lake is laid out. But when you want to see details, you kind of want to zoom in, usually 60 or 80 feet. As you can see, there's little rocks out here. If I wanted to kind of investigate what that is, I just click on it and I can zoom in. These over here may be fish right here because they're long little slats. There's that little school that I went over when I went directly, we went directly over it, so it's going to be on both sides of the boat. And in some cases, you'll see shadows. And when you see these shadows right here, you can tell it's a tall object, as you can see right here. It's a tall object. And let me zoom out. Yeah, it shows a whole lot of stuff. I think it's an awesome fish finder. Different colors, like I said, you can see different things. And the other thing I like to do is just record. So when I get back home, I like to see kind of what I went over during the day. That helps you become a better fisherman. You see things that you miss, like, oh, I didn't know there was a sunken boat right there, or a rock pile that I missed I never fished, and you can come back and fish that at a later time. It does have 2 SD slots, if I can get this thing open, micro SD, and I can put my maps on here, or save my waypoints. I have a 32 gig card and an 8 gig card, high speed cards. Now, this is something that I just recently did that I thought was pretty awesome. There's a way where you can go and grab a Google map and put the map on the actual fish finder. And let me see if I can find that. Let me see. It would be under waypoints. Here, there we go. Check this out. All right, let me zoom out some. Isn't that awesome? That's the actual Google map of the area. And then I don't have to just use Google. I could use Bing Maps. Actually, this one isn't a Google map. This is a an ES something map, but it's a mapping program that does maps just as good as Google Maps. And I'm just zooming in. Now I had the lake to be this light blue is what the Gen 3 came with, but I actually downloaded the actual map of the area, and you can see there are houses out there, and I can zoom in pretty good. This is a lake that I like to go to. You can see quite a bit here. Sorry, keep the camera straight. There's the little launch ramp, a little beach area. Some of it, like I said, is covered with this base map, but as I go and record my depths, it'll actually show me my depths in this lake, and this lake gets as deep as 65 feet right over in this little area here. But as you can see, the levee side, and it's a little dam waterfall type area there. And yeah, this lake is pretty awesome. I've caught some big fish in here. Let me zoom out. And as you can see, I even have part of the Shenandoah River that I fish in too. That's the light blue that's represented there. As you can see, I have that map, I have a pretty big map there. And I could have made the map even bigger, but that's the Shenandoah River there. I'm going to actually get some map because I actually fish in this little area up through here. So I want to make sure I get the same map up there. All of the displays can easily be, you can put the data on there that you want. Let's just say if I have the sonar up, and right now it's showing the depth and the water temp. Okay, but actually I can go in and change that. I could come here, hit that, and I had to figure this out. But actually to edit the overlay on here, you basically hit the power button, and then there's the edit the overlay. Now from here, you can just say add. Let's just say if I want to see let's see, not vessel. If I want to see, wait a minute, what do I want to look at? Well, I've got the time, battery, okay? I want to see the battery voltage, because that's a good thing to know. If your battery voltage starts to get low, you may not be able to start your cranking battery, because this is actually connected to my cranking battery. So as you can see, I added it there. If I want to go up and, let's see, it was another one I wanted to put on here, the time. Yeah, that's a good one. I think that's under GPS. Nope. Where's time? Oh, there it is right here. Okay, so I could put the date and time there. Let's say if I want to throw the time on there. And if I want to put the date, which will take the date off. Okay, so if I close that out, as you can see, I have all those up here. But see, I could also click on it and I can move it around anywhere I want. That's the water temp. I may take that one off. I said delete. Okay. If I have the time, I could put the time here. I can actually, have it to go digital, or I could have it in an analog. The digital time, the digital font looks better. I can put a bezel around it so you can see it better if I want. Or just have it right down there in the corner. You always want to know what time it is, especially if you're a tournament fisherman and you want to make sure you're back at the dock or at the weigh-in on time. Yeah, so I can actually customize all of these screens just how I want it. And let's see. If you're fishing tidal water, this right here will show you the tides, which I don't have any tide stations around. That's why I didn't show anything, but I have that featured functionality. You can set alarms. You see the sun and moon. times when it rises and sets. That may be important. Know if you're going to be fishing near a full moon. That's important to know because fishing is supposed to be better during those times. Let's see, trip calculator. I can actually change this background on here. If I want to, let's just say, if I got on my SD card and I put a picture on there of my kids or something, I could, change my background. Go right here under wallpaper. I would put it in this folder, of course. And actually, I could change it up. I can say set as wallpaper. And if I go back, you see I just changed the wallpaper. Another cool thing, and it's not really that big of a thing, but it's a cool factor. On the back, this Lowrance logo lights up in white. It's kind of hard to see because I have the light on right now on my camera, but it's a nice little glow to it. It looks really, really cool. And as you can see, my iPad is still going. And my daughter's tablet, I guess I just turned it off. Okay, it's still up too. And I'm just surprised on how well this thing works. It works really, really good. I mean, I can, it's good for, you have different people in the boat and they can see the fish finder because, like I said, I'm up front in my boat and they may be sitting back there and, they may want to be able to see the fish finder. So now they can just pull out their own, phones and they can see. So that is my review and I guess a tour of my setup, my HDS 9 Gen 3 setup. All right, VHECS out.